Hey y'all, it's me Lauren from Speak From the Heart, where I give you all things speech, language, and life. I'm a licensed speech language pathologist, and I'm so happy that you're viewing this newest video. I can't believe it. It's been a long time since I've uploaded a video, and I sincerely apologize, but life got really busy, and YouTube videos just kind of like became a thing of the past for me. But I'm back. I am focused on consistency in this last quarter of the year. So bear with me, I miss you all, and I hope that you do enjoy this newest video. So today we are going to be talking about the process and becoming a speech language pathologist. I've recently, really more recently, like over the past couple months, been receiving messages from high school students and undergrad students asking me questions about the road to becoming a speech pathologist. What do I do? What can I do now? And I thought, why not make a video about, some of the key tips to keep in mind when you're kind of traveling through this journey and becoming a speech pathologist. So sit back, relax, grab a pen and paper. I hope this is helpful, and let's get right into it. All right, so the first question I usually get is, what do I need to do now in order to be a speech pathologist? And again, these are sometimes high school students and freshmen in their undergrad years. And so my first thing is just to make sure that you research this field. Make sure that it is truly something that you want to pursue. And of course, you don't have to have your mind made up as a high school student or even as a freshman or sophomore at college. I mean, it's ideal. But you do have the option to change your major, but research it. Go on ASHA, look on YouTube, watch Speak From the Heart. But just do as much research as you can about the field, about the populations you can work with, but especially as a high school student or early undergrad student, is to try and shadow a speech pathologist. So along with doing research, that just allows you even more information and insight into being a speech pathologist before you really make that decision. I know sometimes when you establish a major, it can be a little tricky to, switch, or, now you have to do prerequisites for another major. So shadow, cold call these companies, email people, make a LinkedIn. Right now, I don't think it's ever too early to make a LinkedIn. Reach out to people on Instagram. But try and get your name out there, try and shadow so you can really see the day ins and day outs of a speech pathologist too. Second tip, and this is also, I think, really important even as an early undergrad student, is to go ahead and look at grad school. Look at grad schools that you would be interested in applying to. Look at the process into applying for grad school, because if you wait until your junior or senior year, it's too late. There's so much you have to do to prepare to apply for grad school. I would highly recommend getting a start on that as early as possible. So of course, as a freshman, you don't have to go ahead and write your personal statement, but go ahead, have your resume written so you can just add things to it as the years go by. Go ahead and start forming relationships with your professors so that when it comes time to ask for letters of recommendations, you're good, you're Gucci. You already got people who can speak on your behalf. Go ahead and, research, GRE. And I know it's a little tricky now with COVID and schools are waiving GRE, so that might not even be something you have to worry about. Hashtag lucky you, because I didn't have that luxury. But go ahead and, do your research about grad school, because it comes very quickly and it is a stressful time. I'm not even going to lie to you there. And the third tip, I guess this isn't more so of a tip, more so me providing information, is just to know more about really the actual journey into becoming a speech pathologist, or learning more about that, researching that. And so ideally the process would go a little like this. As someone who establishes their major as a freshman in speech pathology or communication sciences and disorders, you would take prerequisites as a freshman and sophomore, so the things you would never use in life, like history and philosophy and math. And typically around your sophomore, junior year, you would start taking speech classes. So, phonetics and anatomy and speech and hearing sciences. Of course, you would take those up until you graduate. Assuming you don't establish a major in speech pathology, or maybe your major is something completely unrelated, let's say something like, I don't know, music, and then you get to your senior year and you're like, I really want to be a speech pathologist. I found out about this. You can still be a speech pathologist without a speech pathology undergraduate major. What happens is as you go into grad school, it's probably going to take you a little bit more time to graduate because you still have to take prerequisites. So that's something to keep in mind too, that even if your major is something else and you get to the end and you're like, well, I actually don't want to be a music major, I want to be a speech therapist, that's something to keep in mind. You can still pursue this field, but it is going to take you a little bit more time. Going back to speak about the more traditional track, once you finish your prereqs, you finish your speech classes, around your junior, senior year, you apply for grad school, you get in because we're speaking it into existence, and then you start graduate school. Graduate programs are about 2 years, maybe 2.5. I think most grad schools have a summer session. I know we did. That's about 2 years, and then you graduate with your master's degree. You do take the PRAXIS exam while you're a graduate student, and that allows you to get your state licensure, at least in the state that I'm in. You do a 9-month clinical fellowship, which is pretty much like working as a real speech pathologist. You just still have a little bit of supervision there, but it is paid for 9 months. I'm not sure what they call it, a year. Once you finish that and you've signed off and your CF supervisor has signed off on your paperwork, you submit that to ASHA and you receive your C's, which is the Certificate of Clinical Competence, and that's what we all work for. Once you get your C's, you're a real-time speech pathologist, and that's really the moment that we all work towards. And so I remember very vividly receiving my C's. It was in March 2017, and now we're here. So that's the quick and dirty kind of description of the journey into becoming a speech pathologist. And of course, there are some ups and downs. Sometimes it doesn't always go that quick and easy, but that's where, you know, you try and establish relationships with other people who are going through the journey with you, or establishing relationships with seasoned speech pathologists that can just give you advice and really push you and encourage you along. But I hope that this was helpful. I just really wanted to have something here on my YouTube that says, hey, if you want to pursue speech and you're really early in your journey, this is what you should do. These are my recommendations. This is what to expect. And of course, I am always here. I did change my Instagram name again. I just couldn't stray away from Speak From The Heart. So it's back at speak.fromtheheart. So you can reach out to me there, shoot me a DM, send me an email, or comment down below. Make sure you like this video, and I will see you in the next one.